Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, April 16th, 2017, and this is your fun fact of the day. Happy Easter, everybody. It is a very special day when we recognize as Christians the hope that we have in the world when Christ rose from the dead, proving that, despite his death, death could not hold him. He didn't deserve to die. He had no reason to die the death that he did, so death couldn't keep him dead. Didn't stay dead. Good card to play in Munchkin. Today's Bible fact, however, will just simply continue on the trajectory we've put ourselves on, and somewhat fitting in that last week we covered the fall, which is when Eve sinned, Adam sinned because of the serpent, and God kicked them out of the Garden of Eden. That's the starting point of why we actually needed Christ to rise from the grave today. Well, today actually covers what Adam and Eve first did outside the garden. Adam impregnated Eve twice to begin with. They brought forth two sons, older one Cain, younger one Abel. Cain worked the fields, working crops. Abel worked with sheep, with his flocks. They brought forth some sacrifices, some offerings to God. Abel brought forth some fattened, lovely, firstborn young portions of his flocks, and Cain brought forth something, some crops, something for God. God looked at favor with Abel's offering because it was more choice, higher desirability, because Abel was actually willing to sacrifice the best, not take it for himself, but give it to God, whereas Cain just brought whatever he could find. We don't actually know the details beyond it, except that it wasn't his best. Cain got a little angry at God's favor to Abel. God's like, Cain, why are you so upset? Trouble was Cain fell to temptation, just getting angry about his brother and his favor with God, not actually realizing what had brought this whole favor about and how he didn't receive any favor from God because of his menial offering. The result of this meeting, this offering of sacrifices, is that Cain gets so upset he kills Abel, murders his own younger brother. Later, God comes and asks Cain, where's your brother? Cain tries to play dumb, act innocent, tries to play off the question as not his responsibility, responds with, am I my brother's keeper? Why should I know? God didn't actually need to ask Cain where Abel was. He knew. Gives Cain a chance to potentially own up to his mistake, but just like his parents, fails to do so. For this fratricide, God curses Cain, makes him a wanderer, marks him so that no one would ever necessarily do him the same harm, because then they would suffer a curse worse. Cain was supposed to live out his punishment for what he did to Abel. Cain was banished from the sight of the Lord in the land that he was in, so he took his wife and settled elsewhere, in the land of Nod, which is east of the Garden of Eden, or just the region of Eden. And there he lived and had at least one child, who was named Enoch. Sometime after this, it's not described, but Adam and Eve bore another son, named him Seth. So now they just have a single son under them that we're aware of. So the first account of sin happening outside the Garden of Eden, where sin would be present in the world, was a murder. So the first sin we have ever recorded in human history is disobedience of God's commands. The second sin we ever have is a fratricide, murder of one's own actual kin. Great track record, humans. And this classic story of Cain and Abel is brought to us out of Genesis 4. In other news, it is National Orchid Day. My favorite flower. Good deal. It is also National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. I will not be participating in that because this goes public on the internet, and my pajamas aren't necessarily fit for that. Hope you've enjoyed this fun fact of the day. See you tomorrow.